Boxing Bros UK. Larger than life. Massive.
Hello everybody, this is Boxing Bros UK here. I am a Hiss the Boss Chris. This is my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain.
Hello.
Topic of the day is Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis moving up to 154.
Inevitable, wasn't it?
Yeah, inevitable. He was umming and ahhing. He didn't want to move up and fight. Who was he supposed to fight? Ortiz? Because he said he wanted to unify. He wanted to unify at
Ortiz Jr. Yeah.
at 147. So he didn't take that fight. He's done that now, and he's unified. So now he's moving up to 154.
Yeah.
Take it away, Andrew.
Yeah, I've got like a little few questions or like sort of script, I guess, to sort of go through. I think it would. The first thing I want to say, it looked obvious to me that at some point, I know he kind of he definitely ducked the Ortiz Jr. Right, he wanted to unify.
Duck.
And then we were theorising, is he going to be undisputed at 147? But I mean, after looking at a great performance in the Stanionis fight, by the way, great performance, but he looked absolutely dead at the weight on the scales. And I'm not sure how you can keep going to the well and keep doing that and when you're clearly getting tight at the weight. So first question really, and get your reaction, is it was inevitable going up to 154 eventually, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He even said it after he wanted to move up after he had a crap performance against that guy that he'd already beat and fought him again. Whatever it's called. He said after that fight, I need to move up. And then he said, actually, I don't want to move up. I want to be unified a division. So he's done that. So fair play. But he had to move up 154. Definitely.
And my follow-up question to that, and I personally, I feel he'll be fine because he's. How do you think his power is going to translate up to 154? Do you think any problems there, or is he going to be absolutely fine?
This is the thing. I would say, like, obviously, all fighters are different. I think he should be all right because he's only moving up one weight division, so he should be okay. But we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know, and we'll see.
He's 5'11". You know, he's very big for 147. 154 seems like a more natural weight. You know, he's got everything in his arsenal, and he hits hard. He's skillful. You know, Golden Gloves champion. He's got the lot, and the IQ. Showed he's got a bit of a chin. I think he'll be fine because I think he's got the frame. I think his power will be fine. We all know this, don't we? Like with Mickey Garcia going up hundreds of divisions, Pacquiao 8. There are freaks in the way. There are freaks, but we have weight division. You can't keep doing it, you know. And we'll see if Crawford can do it at super middle. I think he'll be fine. And my next one onto that before changing kind of topic, I've put here who poses the biggest threat, because I was just looking at obviously the 154. Bit of a weirdness in the 154 at the moment. The Ring Magazine one's vacant. Crawford's number one. Obviously got Ortiz Jr., Murtazaliev, who sparked out to Zoo badly. You remember that one, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
The WBO's vacant. Van Dora's had to vacate it because of inactivity. Haven't actually read loads into that, so not sure what's gone on there. He could pose a massive 101.97 meters, 6'5.5" at 154. I've never seen anything like it. Like a praying mantis. He did get knocked out by Mendoza Fundora. For a big man, he likes to fight on the inside. I don't know what that's about, and he got clipped. And you see the guy knocked him out of a punch like from up here. Like caught him on the chin. But I don't know, for that, a man at that size, I don't know why he's not boxing on the outside more, but I'm going off topic. So he could be the biggest problem. IBF is Murtazaliev, who has got that sort of Peterbiev, that part of the world, man strength going on.
Yeah.
Although hasn't had loads of fights at 154, Murtazaliev haven't been really tested. WBC still Fundora. Ortiz Jr. is the interim champion. WBA's Crawford. And then some randoms, the interim I've never heard of, Teller 10-0. But who poses the biggest? Crawford forget a little bit because we don't know what he's going to be doing.
What he's going to do, yeah.
Who out of them I've just sort of gone through it? Who really do you think causes the biggest problems up at?
I don't really know, you know. I'd probably say because I know that 6'5", that Fundora guy, he's not very good. He's all right, but because he's so big and he likes to fight on the inside, he's not.
Strange, isn't it?
He's not very clean. Like if he does that with boots, he's gonna get knocked out, guaranteed. Because he's not. Some big guys can fight quite all right on the inside. Like Callum Simpson, even Tyson Fury is quite good fighting on the inside. You know, and they're quite tall. And then some people, they do it and they're useless at it. They're not very good. And I just think if he does that with boots, he'll get knocked out. So I'm thinking probably Ortiz Jr.
Yeah, that's who I think, because I think he's resilient. He's a come forward fighter. I think he would, and we saw like with Chuck with those two fights that, you know, he did catch him, didn't he? He did catch him with some hooks, some left hooks, if I remember rightly. And I think that could be I think Murtazaliev, I know he's a bit of an unknown quantity, Murtazaliev. Yeah. We know he hits hard. I mean, Tszyu was a bit of a kind of, everyone was singing Tim Tszyu's, he's definitely the future of the division. Got absolutely battered, Chris. And I know stars make fights, and I don't want to use cliches because too many boxing pundits use cliche style, but it is true. I think Murtazaliev, because we don't know enough.
Yeah.
You know, but that was a great win. I think Ortiz Jr. or Murtazaliev, but with Boots' skills, there's no reason he can't become undisputed at 154, and that's the title we've gone with. But I think he absolutely can, but there's definitely some decent talent. Boachuk, we haven't mentioned him. He's a good fighter. Yeah.
Who did he fight last, Boachuk?
Oh God. Oh, you're not testing me off the top of my head now. Who did he beat?
Because he was supposed to fight someone. Let me just double check.
Get his box rec up.
Yeah. 1 second.
He fought Ortiz Jr., didn't he? I thought he won that fight, actually. And then Ortiz Jr. got the decision. He put Ortiz Jr. down.
Ortiz Jr. I'm just going to get Ortiz, because I can't spell his name. So I'll get his box rec up and then click on...
Boachuk. Yeah. He was meant to fight... I know he was meant to fight Madrimov, and Madrimov pulled out, didn't he, because of an injury.
Yeah.
And,
let's get this up. There we go. Box rec. Here's the man. Boachuk. He's fought on the 5th. So that was just gone. He fought Michael Fox.
Oh, that's it. Who was before Michael Fox he fought?
Ishmael Davis.
Ishmael Davis, yeah. Which he was a late replacement, Ishmael Davis, weren't he?
Yeah. Who's Michael? Did Michael Fox get knocked out by Liam Williams ages ago?
Oh, that might have been going back a little while. That might be going back a few years.
I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, the point being though that you know, there is I think there's probably a lot more competitive fights up at 154, isn't there, for him?
Yeah, definitely is. No, it wasn't him. That must have been a different Fox that Liam Williams knocked out. But yeah. Michael.
So
Fox.
going on, I'm going to go where I'm going to go now, Chris, if you don't mind. We kind of, you know, established that there's probably some interesting fights there. I do agree Fundora could be tailor-made for him.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to go on to the promotion because he's still obviously with Matchroom and Eddie, isn't he? Still with Eddie. I mean, with Eddie's recent run of form or lack of, he really needs Boots, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He really needs him and needs him to do well up at 154, doesn't he? I just wanted your reaction to that.
He can't be losing Boots Ennis. And Boots Ennis, yes, he unified the division. He smashed it. Great performance. But it's been shaky before that. He's not been shining. He's not been pulling his weight in. He's not been putting on a good show for the fans. He's been stinking the place out. He's been struggling. And he's got it right. He's in his last fight and he's moved up. So he's got to continue in that way, or Eddie Hearn's fucked if he loses Boots Ennis. That's Eddie Hearn's whole thing, isn't it? I'm international when we complain, saying, why is your English stable so shit? You're pretty. And he's like, because I'm international. I'm international.
Why I wanted to bring it up. Because he's either losing for Shakur Stevenson, you know, it didn't seem to work out. He's either losing contracts a bit, and I know.
Or they're having one fight and going, "Fuck this shit! I'm retiring." Like Delicious,
Delicious sort of. Oh God, Delicious. Sorry, that's a whole other video as well. A whole history of fighters that have big prospects at the amateur. Olympic pedigree. Retire after one fight. There ain't many, is there?
I think Eddie Hearn probably thought, right, I better get this kid before anyone else signs him. And maybe he's losing his touch, because how comes no one else thought to sign this Delicious? And Eddie Hearn thought, I'll sign him.
Warren have him? Did Frank Warren have Delicious? Sorry, didn't he?
I thought it was a Matchroom, but I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe whoever. Anyway, I think it was with Frank Warren, but it doesn't matter. the point being retiring after. But this is where I wanted to come on to, because I know Eddie Hearn does kind of allow, because sometimes you can be bought into the tie into the contract and it's hard to get away and all the rest of it. But,
yeah,
you know, he's kind of putting his fighters in like Hooney against Wardley, 50-50 fights, losing. You know, Johnny Fisher against Dave Allen, 50-50. How confident were they?
He signed Dave Allen, though. He did a Don King, didn't he? He went in with Fisher and left with Allen. Don King.
Because a little bit of what we call collateral damage, Chris.
Yeah.
Collateral damage, isn't it?
That's Don King style. Go in with one fighter, and then you leave with the winner and fuck your guy.
Damage limitation. Because I like it and I want him to do well, but he does seem to be, I don't know, like hanging on. He's on the ropes a little bit, and he's on the ropes trying to land something. But this leads me on to, this is kind of my kind of last point, shall we say, a question on it, the promotion. And Boots reminds me a lot of Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is regarded, along with Anu Canelo, as a pound for pound great, right? He's probably, I don't even know, is he number one in the pound for pounds? He's right up there anyway. And yet nobody outside the boxing world, and I do this all the time at work and going around, how do you do? Because I get the question a lot. Oh, and who's the greatest boxer in the world for you? And I'll mention people like Crawford and Dimitri Bivol. No idea who they are.
Yeah.
No fucking clue. Dimitri Bivol, one of my favourite fighters, as you know. No one's got a clue who he is. But Evu, Crawford, Boots is a little bit in danger himself. I think he's massively talented, clearly. No one has got a fucking clue who he is. Outside of the boxing hardcore,
unless he fights
that's
at home.
The problem.
Unless he fights at home, that's it. But do you know? I was thinking about this. Back in the day, back in the 70s and the 60s, the world champions used to fight all over the world.
Yeah,
but look at Ali. Yeah, you go back to the legend. Thriller in Manila. Rumble in the Jungle in Africa. He come over to England, even though he's American. He's fought in England about 3 or 4 times. That guy, and he used to say, I'm the world champion, so I must fight all over the world. Even Mike Tyson fought in Tokyo, fought in England. Like, what's wrong with these fighters? Like, they're scared. Why don't they want to fight in
new
all
age,
over the world? You're a world champion.
New age fighters, mate. I can't speak for Boots' character, but why being under Eddie Hearn? Now, for example, I know this would be maybe a weird fight to make, but Josh Kelly's like number 3 or 4. I think I wrote it down.
Get him in there. That would be a good. I would love that fight. Josh Kelly, Boots Ennis, love it.
Why not get Tim Tszyu out in Australia? Right, out, and I think he's Aussie, isn't he, Tim Tszyu? Australia, right? You're up to 154. Don't go fucking fighting the Fandoras and the. And the Murtazaliev, don't be taking risks too soon. Get acclimatised to the weight first, right? Tim Tszyu out in Australia, right? Have Jai Opataya on the undercard and Cambosos if he's not retired, or whatever. I'm just, throwing some ideas out there, right? Promote the hell of it. Make him big in the Oceania market, right? Bring him over, fight Josh Kelly. Because Josh Kelly will want to duck that like fucking like.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll be ducking that like mad. Get a load of money, throw that at Josh Kelly, cash him out, fight Boots over, make Boots massive in the UK. Us hardcore fans know
love him.
Boots is. Mate, I'm not telling Eddie and people how to do. They know their job better than what I do. But why are they not being promoted more? Like, you make a good point. International circuit. Why? I don't get it.
World. Because like, I'll tell you, the best places for like where people love boxing, obviously UK, big boxing fans. Australia, massive boxing fans. But look at what's his face? Oh, what's he called now? Keith Thurman. He went and fought in Australia. And he fucking upset the apple cart and sparked that prospect out. Australia, big boxing fans. Japan, and massive boxing fans. China. So think of these countries where the fans love boxing and start going there, Instead of, I don't know why Eddie Hearn wastes his time in Monte Carlo or whatever. Where is it Italy or whatever? When they're fighting in a hotel and the atmosphere is just like terrible. Like, he needs to cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Them cards are a waste of time. No one watches them.
Yeah, because this guy's got, and this is what I'm trying to get at the core of this video with you, is that he's a unified champion at 147, far superior in that division. I think, who else did you have in there? I think you had Norman Jr. and some others, and he probably could have been undisputed there. Potentially could be undisputed at 154 if we don't know what kind of Terence Crawford's doing. right? And so he could potentially be undisputed and yet be relatively unknown, being a pound for pounder. He's probably already. And I just don't get what's going on. Shakur Stevenson, another one. Oh, all you hear of the pun, pound for pound, like fantastic, what a wonderful boxer, all this, that, and the other. Yet nobody knows who the fuck he is outside of the hardcore.
And they're not getting the fights. They're not getting the fights. Not getting the fights, man.
But everyone knows AJ, Tyson Fury. Ben Whittaker has done, and I'm not hating on Ben Whittaker's done fuck all, and he's like an internet meme. Like,
they know who Ben Whittaker is through his showboating. Like in America, everyone, I think Dr. Dre or someone sent him like a DM on Twitter or Instagram, like, I like your moves or some shit like that, you know. So he's smashing it. Like maybe he's got the right idea. Like just be a knob. So people take notice.
You know what? That's the thing, though. I know you're sort of having a joke around, but honestly, Chris, I think that in there's a difference between being an elite sportsman and a showbiz person. Obviously, like Cristiano Ronaldo, right? You know, an unbelievable athlete, you know, and all the rest, and talented. And I think sometimes you can be a massive talent and be very gifted in the like Prince Nazim Hamed, Ben Whittaker. And I think with like Terence Crawford, Inoue, Boots Ennis, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Bam Rodriguez, right, all these guys, right, massively talented, some of the best boxers out there. No one's got a clue who they are.
No,
it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. And it's so stupid. It's like, you see with AJ, do you know what Eddie Hearn was doing? Go on Graham Norton. Go on Jonathan Ross. Go on A League of Their Own. Go on these talk shows. Go on the game shows. But it's easy. So surely they can go on in America. Go on Jay Leno. And go on Jay Leno. Go on that women's The View thing. That Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Loads of shit.
David's another one. He's all over social media doing this stuff. And look, you know, his stardom is probably bigger than his talent. That might be a controversial thing to say. But I think so.
I don't. Tank Davis, he used to be good. Now I think he's on a decline now, and it's his own fault for fighting people below his level every fight and not trying to challenge himself. So it's his fault now. He's on the decline. He's on the way out, and he's going to get stopped soon. He's going to lose soon, badly.
Yeah, if he carries on. Do you think it's just with like Boots and Terence Crawford? Because, and I haven't seen enough in. I'm going to look at some more interviews with Boots, but I think if you've got a bit more of a dry personality or a bit understanding, and they're probably not interested in doing the interviews and that because if we were interviewed, they'd probably say, well, I don't want to do any of that shit. And that's fine. But I think that could be the case, by the way. Maybe the personalities aren't there. But I think we're just saying as fans that they should be bigger. They should be bigger. It would do wonders for the sport because, you know, for the casuals coming in, rather than watching Jake Paul fighting some coked up, drugged up, alcoholic, 10 years past his best bum, you know, they can watch people like Boots and Terence Crawford and go, this is what elite boxing looks like.
They did a good thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Canelo and Crawford, they went on Piers Morgan, and he's quite popular internationally. That was a good thing.
That's well, though, isn't it?
Yeah, too little, too late, though. He's at the end of his career, Crawford. He's only got 1 or 2 fights left. So
yeah, and Canelo. Canelo's not much left, does he? Let's be honest, by the look of him.
But it was a good shout, really, by Turkey to get Piers Morgan to do that. I'll be honest with you, I watched it. It's pretty boring, to be honest, because they're both boring guys.
But Piers has got a big platform, though.
That's it. Well, any more thoughts on that?
No, we can wrap that up. But let us know, let us know your thoughts on what we said about Boots, because the guy should be a superstar.
Yeah, he should be, and he needs to get out there, be posting, going out there, bloody going on some talk shows and that, really selling himself. You know, it needs to be done.
Maybe he's a private man. You know?
Yeah, well, that doesn't get the dollars in. But like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.
Cheers.